to align with your authentic self and live in abundance. That's what we're talking about. This is Richard Smith.
Hey, no, that's Dean Regan. This is
That's
Richard.
right. I'm Dean Regan. That is Richard Smith. Hello, Richard
Yeah,
Smith.
welcome. Yeah,
Thank you.
happy
How to
Tuesday.
align with your authentic self and
Yeah,
live in abundance. That's what we're talking about. And so the question that we've got, we're curious. What if the secrets to manifesting your deepest desires, your grandest dreams, and living a prosperous life, what if those secrets lie in aligning with your authentic self? So we're talking about, just imagine if you woke up every day filled with purpose and a sense of what your purpose was, and a choice to take actions on that purpose, a sense of joy, know what your joy is, and a choice to take actions in line with that sense of joy, and abundance. Again, knowing what that abundance is in the scheme of things and your choice to take action on it. That's what we're talking about today.
yeah. Your authentic self, the essence of who you are,
Yeah.
unaffected by people's expectations, your fears, the influences outside of you that are influencing you. It's who you are, your pure expression of your soul's purpose and creativity, and who you are, who you were meant to become in this life. I call this movie called life. So I'm really excited about this, Dean.
Yes,
Huh?
sir.
Great subject.
Great subject. Well, and as many of you know, Rich has a book called The 52 Laws and Principles of the Infinite Filmmaker. And so this particular topic is based on Principle 27 of Rich's book. And what Principle 27 says is the vision for your life's movie is not withheld from you. Instead, you withhold it from yourself. You withhold yourself from it, and you hold it from yourself. So we're not getting into blame, shame, and regret here, but it's a really key thing that we're talking about is our sense of that authentic self, allowing us to be involved in, manifest, allow the greatest things in the world to happen for us.
Yeah. And they will when you're in alignment with your authentic self, because when you're in alignment with your authentic self, you're in alignment with who you are as a unique spiritual being living in this physical experience called life. And so you got no other choice to be what we're going to talk about today, abundance.
Yep.
To have abundance and
Yep.
to have a fulfilling life.
Yes.
So
So big, but big stuff to unpack, that idea of living your authentic self. And please know, whenever I'm talking, I won't speak for Rich, but whenever I'm talking to you guys, it's almost like I have a mirror right in front of me because I'm talking to myself. This is really the kind of thing that we all get to explore just for ourselves. Who is your authentic self? Who is my authentic self? And when does that authentic self show up and express itself? And when do I crimp it and not allow it to show itself?
yeah, yeah. So we're going to talk today about the concept of the authentic self and how you can align with that authentic self. How do you discover that authentic self, the true self of who you are as a spiritual being living a physical experience, huh?
And I love that, as a physical being living a spiritual experience. That's one
As
of
a
those.
spiritual being living a physical experience. Did I say it backwards?
No, you said it great. I just love it. I love that idea.
Yeah,
I love that expression. And that idea that we are greater than what it is, even our authentic self appears to be.
yeah.
So, okay. All right. So authentic self, Mr. Smith,
Yep.
do you have any examples or any stories about what your authentic self is and what the authentic self is and when you've experienced it?
No, I haven't thought of that. But I do know that, by aligning with my authentic self and my true self, uh, I, I get to express the beauty of who I am authentically. And then that affects everything around me, the people around me. I'm not should I use the word phony? But, but phony to myself. I'm authentically who I am, and as long as I live in a consciousness of the highest good for myself and everybody around me.
Okay, that sounds like that's a value that you've got, that sense of who Rich's authentic self is honoring himself and all those beings around him.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And for me, it's not about it's about the creative journey and not the destination, of allowing that divine to unfold. Who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? These are the questions that I've been asking myself lately. And when I get out of my head of
Mhm.
thinking what's expected of me, what I expect of myself, and just allowing the divine to flow through me and express itself as beauty and harmony and peace and joy and love, the love intelligence of the universe, then I get to live an abundant life.
Just as you were explaining that, you said something. Oh my God, I've got to remember what you said. But that you said something that just kind of slowed me down. You
Aligning with your true self, authentic self, and allowing that to,
allowing yourself to be in your authentic self, expressing your true self. As you were saying that, the feeling tone that I got was just a sense of, and kind of releasing that, oh, okay, got to get it done, got to do it right, got to do it now, which can be aspects of your authentic self. But I find that I'm in alignment with my authentic self when there's great, as you were saying, joy.
yeah,
When I find that that which I'm choosing is joy, I discover that I'm working in line with my thoughts, my values, my peace, if you will. That's what I find happens in
Y-
um, as I'm exploring my authentic self.
yeah. And sometimes, you fall out of your authentic self into your unauthentic self. And if you're talking about feeling that joy and peace and seeing your life unfold in perfect order when you're being your authentic self, on the same hand, when I'm not my authentic self, it appears to me that things are not in alignment with the universe, with God, with divine presence. I'm out of alignment and things don't seem to go my way. And it seems like when I'm in my authentic self, being authentic to who I am internally, the spiritual aspect of me, things just seem to come together
The
in
flow.
synchronicity.
Yeah.
People, places, things show up in my life that empower that and give me more of that authentic self. And then when I'm not feeling like I'm in my authentic self and I'm trying to be something that I'm not, things don't work out. Does that make sense? I mean, sometimes things really work out. I know I feel really good. Life is unfolding perfectly. All my needs are met. And I feel like I'm being my authentic self. But at other times, I'm trying to be something other than my authentic self. I'm trying to live up to the expectations of people, of my career, live up to the expectations of my clients, you know? Have you ever had that? Where you,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can relate with that. When you start putting your vision, your focus outside of yourself for the intention of accomplishing a certain response from somebody, or a certain, I need to do this a special way, whether it's looking at what you sense others are expecting of you or what you are expecting of yourself, which is out of alignment with your authenticity.
yeah,
That's when things start going a bit south for me. What the authentic self, I identify it most clearly when I'm meditating
Yeah.
and when I'm performing. Those are the two places where Dean Regan is has that feeling of really truly being in my rightful place. That sense of being in that place where I'm witnessing in meditation and when I'm authentically expressing in performance. So that's whether it be a speaking, uh, singing, acting, dancing, whatever that might be. Generally, for me, in a group of people on stage, um, that that's when I feel truly aligned with my authentic self. It's not the only time I'm there, but it's where I feel truly I can put a pin in that. That's my authentic self
Yeah. And
expressing.
not just being I'm a filmmaker in the film business. Dean is in the entertainment industry too, but also just anybody like a mom. When a mom is with her children, and she is okay. Let's take a look at an example of a mom with her children, and she's loving and things are going great. But then all of a sudden, she buys into the circumstances that are going around her, and things get chaotic, and she gets upset. And so, what is the authentic self, and what is the unauthentic self? Is the unauthentic self being conditioned by your circumstances, things that are going on around you? Maybe the kids, if you have teenagers, they're giving you a hard time. I know we've had three of them in our life, and they're giving you a hard time and stuff, and all of a sudden you get upset and angry and out of alignment because you're not in your authentic self as a mom, right? But as a mom, you're in your authentic self when you're loving and finding beauty and peace and harmony with your family and loving every moment of it. So we can fall in and out of authenticity in any aspect of our life, even in our career. If you're in business and things just, you're on the office are crazy and people are all going crazy and you buy into that environment, then you're not your authentic self. You got to break away, be still, go within, connect with spirit again, and then come back to the situation. And most of the times, I believe that when you come back with that vibration, things shift around you. People shift. That chaos that's going on in the office isn't there anymore because you're coming back with a different energy, your authentic self, not influenced by the office. Does that
Yes,
make sense?
yes, that's that whole thing of paying. First off, you're paying attention to who you're being, and that's the first step. Just pay attention to who you're being, and when you're being who you're being, is that your highest and best self that you are expressing? May well be. May you may want to tweak it a little bit. Our point here is that we all bring an energy into our lives
Yeah.
that is creating the experience of our lives through our intentions, through our choices. And this is not to say, oh, what are you bringing into your life? See what oh, that's good or that's bad. It's just to say, from a neutral, almost Buddhist standpoint, there is an energy that each of us brings into our lives that is contributing major to our experience. It's and it's not something to it is something to be cherished, acknowledged, and embraced, as opposed to judged or pushed against
Yeah.
or resisted. And this is where sometimes your authentic self may not be in keeping with what other people would have you be. But if it is truly coming from a place of positive and intention and is hurting no one else, from Rich and my perspective, from the Infinite Filmmaker and Living in Concert with Life, both of our brands, then this is completely in line with who you are.
Yeah. And when you're in alignment, it opens the door to what we're going to talk about today, prosperity in all areas of your life, not just abundance in money and wealth, but abundance in relationships with people, abundance in your environment and where you're living, abundance in your, even like I was talking about your work environment when things are chaotic. When you're in alignment with your authentic self, you bring abundance of joy to your work. And so, you know, uh, let's talk. What are we going to talk about? Some of the things you can do to align yourself with your
Well,
authentic self.
absolutely. And we'll go more into these in the inner circle, which is where we're on our way into. For those of you who are new here, we have an inner circle where after this social media live stream, we all go into a private space to confidentially explore the topic of the day. And so, and we've got people coming and going every week. It's as you see fit. And we are, oh, actually, we are, should I talk about the July special? I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. So we're going to start monetizing the inner circle in August. We're going to start charging to be a member of the inner circle. And in in preparation for that, if you join us for the rest of this month, you will be grandfathered into the inner circle as opposed to monetizing, having to monetize it. So that's one of the reasons we're enjoying having even more people join us this week.
yeah. And what we're doing is having people come in, check it out, see if it's the right fit for them, and see if it's the right fit for everybody else that's in the group. Because it's a tight group. We support each other. We're all in alignment with these ideas of New Thought, Ancient Wisdom teachings. So basically, come on in, join us, and see if it's for you.
Absolutely. See if
Yeah,
if it is for you. Also, we're talking about today, we're bringing that sense of authentic self, and we're incorporating which authentic self. We were talking about joy. There's love in
yeah,
expressing and experiencing your authentic self. And one of the things that Rich and I are talking about, because it really seems to be something that is such a step forward for not only ourselves, but for the New Thought Tuesdays community, is that idea of embracing abundance, embracing your abundance, your sense of plenty, your sense of flow, and and allowing yourself to identify what is your energy bringing to your own sense of abundance
yeah,
from a place where you can gently, sweetly, authentically identify what you're um, allowing into your life, and also what you're suggesting not be part of your life.
yeah,
And that's what we'll be talking about
yeah.
more in the inner
And,
circle.
Dean, just what you were saying about being resonance with who you are, that's the way the universe operates on these principles of harmony and peace. And when you resonate with that, when you're in alignment with your authentic self, the universe will just flow more abundance into you. You'll be in alignment with the abundance of the universe, you know. Um, and so, one thing I did want to talk about today is that how do you connect with that? I mean, we're going to go through some processes and stuff in the inner circle, but how do you connect with that? Um, Tap into that creative power within you, that authentic self, trust in like your inner voice, that guiding force, that you connect with for, to connect with, well, okay, I'll say it, the God, the divine presence within you, to connect with that and allow that to reveal itself as perfection in your life, and by embracing your true self, your authentic self, and bringing more and more abundance, joyful living into your life. It's really important. Um,
Well, the way that, first off, you've already taken our first steps. We were talking about paying attention to your own self and how you are expressing yourself and what's going on. And we have a term called God qualities. Yes, we use the word God. Your higher self, those senses of true positive goodness, and abundance is one of them. Love is another. And you're talking about creativity to a certain extent, Richard. One of the things that we always encourage is begin to identify what's your topic. For instance, this week for me, my topic, there are two things that I'm focused on in my meditative and in my waking time, in when I'm out and about or when I'm quiet and still, and they are creativity and love. The creativity comes from something that I have valued my whole life, and I believe I reflect in my daily life. The love comes from a place where I've been experiencing the opposite of love sometimes. And so I'm focusing on that God quality of love. And these are the two terms that I'm walking through my week with. And it's one of the ways that I become more aligned with my authentic self, recognizing that sometimes I'm blocking love just by my own behavior, by my own intention. And so embracing the creativity, embracing the love, taking those God qualities in your own awareness and thinking about them all week, whether, as I said, being contemplatively or just, when you're out and about, eating your lunch, talking to your friends. Wow, creativity and love. How can I express this even more?
Yeah. And for me, it's been joy, finding more joy in my life and just uh, eliminating those things that don't bring me joy and doing more of the things that bring me joy. And so yesterday I like going to cafes to do work. Gets me out of the house, out of the office and stuff. But, yesterday, guess where I was at my office at the beach? Hello, bringing more joy into my life. This is my authentic self, okay? Not this guy sitting here, in my studio. This is my authentic self. And it felt really good to be there. So that's what it's all about. What are you
Well,
looking for today out there, guys? What are you looking
what are
for?
you looking for? What are you
Joy?
experiencing? What are you finding? Let's talk about it in the inner circle. It's
Yep.
time. Oh my gosh, it's well past time to go into this inner circle. Thank you all for joining us here on social media. We are all going to go into the inner circle and talk about this more specifically. So we're going to turn off the recordings and we'll see you next time on New Thought Tuesdays.
Yeah. See you on Tuesday.